Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Modern Prayer and Spirituality Summit, where we're talking about maximizing divine connection, quantum leaping spiritual growth, and creating community. I am Kim McGuire, your host, and today we are with Bianca de Reus. I know I am not saying it Dutch, I'm saying it American, so I'll let her say it pretty. And when I first met Bianca, we had the best talk because I am a huge animal lover. I am like the crazy dog lady, and you are a skilled animal communicator, but you also work with intuitive people and helping people get in touch with their souls, with their spirits, and with their intuition. So I can't wait to have this discussion with you. Welcome.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. Thank you so much.
I love animals, and I know when I'm having any sort of a down point, or when I know that I just need to get back centered, my dog does it for me.
Yes.
If I'm praying deeply, if I'm sad, if I just need to walk away and be present, I'm either petting him, loving on him, walking him, running with him. But he can tell too if something's off with me, and he just comes and just is with me. And I used to have two. We were talking about it before. We had to let one go to the Rainbow Bridge, but you know, they just, for me, bring me closer to my spirit and my connection.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, we know that animals have a level of instinct, and they have this sixth sense anyway, that, you know, they feel exactly how we feel. But I have learned that that can go a lot deeper than that. It can actually go higher than that even. They truly tune into our energetic field and can hear, see, and feel exactly what we experience as well. So from my experience working with animals for quite a few years now, is that they do have that innate wisdom and skill to understand where we are at, and they will let us know that they do know. Sometimes we don't know, and that can be represented in their behavior or how they interact with us, so that we actually do need to start paying more attention to them. And they can certainly help us to relax more, feel more at peace, be more grounded. And that's why it works so well to have animals around, in terms of us being just completely mellowed out in that sense as well, because their energy is so lovely in that way. Yeah.
And I
Beautiful.
find too, when my one isn't home, the energy feels stagnant for me. Where it's almost like him walking around and just, you know, barking at something or being excited about something kind of stirs the energy in the room, but also in me. Why is that?
It's, you know, we are so connected to everything that is, that every individual soul is really interlinked with each other. And when we are living together, that's even amplified. And so we feed off each other in that way as well. And when one soul is not there, we actually feel that, you know, not necessarily the emptiness, but we feel that they're not around. And also, I believe that when animals are with us, they help to clear energies, and they help to move things along very quickly. So, and that's probably what you sense when they're not around, that it feels a little bit stagnant. And when they are there, that things are moving. And it happens really quickly too. For example, when I provide energy healing to animals, I might only do that for 5, 10, maybe 20 minutes maximum. However, for humans, we need to do it in a much longer time frame. And that's also because animals don't have any preconceived ideas. They literally just live in that moment, whereas we have all this stuff that comes in us, you know, and we have to digest things and process everything, and it takes a hell of a lot longer. So when animals are with us, they help us to move those energies more rapidly as well.
From your perspective and your talents of being able to not only work with animal intuition, but human intuition,
Yeah.
do the link that there is between it. Do you think people are more connected to animals when they're more connected to themselves? Or do animals help people become more connected to themselves and a higher power?
I think both. Animals certainly amplify that connection for us, and they have an innate wisdom as well that comes with them, that they teach us, certain levels of knowledge, how we feel. They are almost a mirror for us as well, but they come with a lot of messaging. And yes, we absolutely feel more connected to ourselves when animals are around us, because in a way that energy helps us to bring ourselves back to our core. In terms of the intuition, automatically we already know how our animals are feeling. It's almost like an instinct that comes from us as a primary source as well, because we do have our own source within us. Our own soul is here, and it's automatically already connected. And so when we tap into that more consciously, it amplifies it even more so. And with humans who do not have that connection strongly yet, it's literally just relearning what that is and how we do it, to bring it more to the surface as well, so that we can tap into it more consciously.
How can people, well, I would assume it would be the same process for tuning into yourself, tuning into an animal,
Yeah.
but how can people become more in tune with themselves? Or if you're already in tune with yourself or in tune with your own intuition, be open to communication, intuition, however you choose to
Mm,
explain it.
yeah. Yeah, great question. Um, I mean, when you want to connect to an animal, to actually hear what they say, because that's usually the first thing that people want. I want to hear what they say. I want to know what their story is. How do they feel? It's literally, basically, I teach people first to connect to their own heart center. And that is by way of meditation. So I get them through an activity that really connects them to the heart space. And from that space, you tap into your own unconditional love. And then that love is sent to the animal that you want to connect with. And you literally say, I come with unconditional love. I would love to have a connection. Is that okay? So we do ask permission in that way as well, because we don't barge into someone's house without, having the door opened and be invited in. So I always ask permission. And once that's there, the information automatically starts flowing. And the way we utilize our intuition is similar to how we learn best. So what I've noticed is that most of the time, our spiritual abilities, the types of intuition that we use, are linked to our primary way of learning and communicating. So for example, you could be a visual learner and would love to watch videos. You want to see pictures and slideshows when you communicate and learn and things like that. And you talk in a way such as, well, I see what you mean. I get the picture type scenario. And our intuition is then amplified through what we call a clairvoyance skill. So you can actually see perhaps colors and images and, things go by like a movie. And when we know that, the animals automatically communicate to us in that way. So if you do have that skill of being quite visual or clairvoyance, then the animals automatically pick up on that, and they will send you colors and images in that way to actually get you to understand what they're actually conversing to you as well. So for me personally, it's usually the hearing first, and then I sense. And once I start to apply my hands in energy healing, then I start to see things as well. So it's literally a combination of the different skill sets that you put into place to start understanding what they're communicating. On top of that, there is a language that's being used. And it's interesting because when animals communicate to me, it sort of comes through in a way that's my voice, but not my voice. And it's not that they speak English, that they use my voice. They still speak their own language, but somehow that is being translated in the ether so that I can translate that back into my own voice. So when I have a connection, things come through quite quickly on one hand, and I need to record all the information that comes through because I don't often remember either what is being said. So I don't want to miss out on any information for my clients. So I need to record the sessions as well at the same time. But I don't have control often over what's come out of my mouth. So, because it's like I literally open myself up to that connection, and whatever comes through has to be heard. And that's how it comes through for me. Yeah.
Is this a skill or a gift? Because I believe it's a gift.
Yeah.
That one is just innately given, or is it something that people can develop and learn?
You can certainly develop it and learn it, because I believe that we all have these gifts. We are all soul beings, and we are in this beautiful body on earth to have this earth experience. We all go back to the spirit realm. And so I do know that we have this gift, but we may not have chosen to operate these skill sets in this human body. So for me, it's literally a relearning of these skills and to bring that further to the surface. But we can certainly enhance it by practicing this. For me as well, if I haven't done this for a little while, then, you know, it might get a little bit rusty. But I'm lucky in the sense that I can just tap into it and it happens. But I had to learn how to have ownership over that and set the boundaries as well, because otherwise, you know, you're switched on all the time. But I certainly know that we can learn this, and it's something that we can certainly tap into. But for some people, it can be a little bit more challenging because they may not feel that it's something that they can do. People sometimes feel it's not something they can trust. They don't believe that what they do hear, see, and feel is indeed coming from the animal or from their soul, or perhaps from a spirit that they want to talk to as well. So those are the things that I work on mostly with my clients, to get rid of all these, you know, ideas and beliefs that we have, to really clear that channel so that they have that open communication. But yes, I do believe we can all do this.
How do you think that this aspect of intuition and spirituality, because I believe it is a spiritual connection,
Absolutely, yes.
helps people connect more with the divine or more with their purpose in a spiritual practice?
Definitely, yes. My belief is that, and this is also my experience, the more you tune into your own heart, the more you open yourself up to channel, the more you are connected to divine spirit and the universe. So you will start to sense that you have connections with your own guides, with the angel realms, with the master realms, you know, with source. It all comes through, and it's all coming from a place of love. And it feels like that as well. It's such a feeling of immense warmth and nurturing and love, and it's almost a place where you just want to go and never leave, you know, when you really get to that point. And so you truly can tap into all these different realms. However, you can choose to do that, or you can choose not to do that as well. That's completely in your control. And sometimes people say, well, what if something bad happens? You know, you open yourself up to all these different energies and things like that.
You're reading my mind.
Yeah. You know, but what if there is an evil spirit coming through? And I go, well, you have that in complete control yourself, because you set the intention out there that you only want to operate from a place of love and only interact with beings who come with love. And that is so much more powerful than anything evil that hangs out there. Yes, certainly, I have had entities attached to me when I came from certain spiritual festivals, but literally that was my own doing. I wasn't prepared enough. I hadn't ensured that, you know, the right intention was set, or I haven't protected myself enough. So I have experienced to have something on me in my energy field that wasn't feeling right. And it took me quite a while to actually get rid of that as well at the same time. But to say that bad things are out there in terms of the spirit world, I have not experienced it. And the interactions I've had and the questions that I've asked around that, I have never had that confirmed either. Because, yeah, as I said, we are all soul beings. We're already connected. We are all one soul family. And we just have different vessels here on earth that we walk around in. That's all it is.
You say when you connect, when you experience that connection and the connection with source and the connection with the other levels of energy on this plane, that it's a feeling of such love that you might not want to come back. And I know my beliefs in this, but I'd love to hear from you, because I know someone out there is thinking it. Well, because I had an experience with scuba diving, right, where they talk about you can get this euphoria. And I never believed it until it happened to me. And I was floating in the water and I'm like, I'm good. I don't ever need to surface. I'm good right here. And that's why they, swim with the buddy, but that's a whole different summit. But can someone get stuck there or not come back?
Yes, absolutely.
And how do people avoid or connect safely?
Yes, very good question. We can certainly get stuck or stay up there if we don't have the right guidance. So if you're doing this for the first time, I would certainly suggest, because I call this astral travel, where we actually physically go out of our body and go to the spirit realms. Some people call it spirit walking. But even through meditation and even through prayer, you can sometimes go so deep that you literally feel yourself being lifted up and your body stays behind and you literally move to those realms, and really deep into that connection. And when we do that, asking for the right help from the spirit realm is number one, because they will always make sure that you come back safely. Number two, if you do this for the first time and you consciously would like to go to the spirit world through astral travel or spirit walking or however you want to call this, then I would certainly suggest to ask an expert to help you, because they can bring you back if you cannot come back on your own. And that's the same with past life regression, all these sorts of activities as well. I would certainly suggest to do that with an expert first, rather than doing it on your own straight off the bat, because you do need that support. Now, I've got a friend, he recently did the astral travel, and he literally went back to the spirit world, and the person that was with him, it took her quite a long time to actually get him back. And at some stage, his heart actually stopped. And it was like, he didn't want to come back. He was like, this is it. I'm, so beautiful here. I'm back with my loved ones. I've learned what I wanted to learn, but it's so much better here. I'm not coming back. And he has to come back because there's still a lot of work for him to do here on earth. So it took her, all her energy and the help with all the spirit guides as well to actually bring him back. And luckily for us, we still have him with us. But yes, it can certainly get to that stage where, you can get stuck in that sense too. And I've had it myself too, when I go into really deep meditation or I just visit. Luckily, I've got a beautiful spiritual team called the Council that work with me, and I've got some guides. They help me to actually come back in my body. And sometimes it feels like I'm being literally pushed,
slammed back in.
Yeah.
I do. If I'm in a deep meditation, I kind of do it. And I can feel it. It feels like I clunk back in.
Exactly.
But we can connect with our animals or with our heart centers between people without having to astral travel.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We don't have to go to that level. It's lovely, but you don't have to, for sure. We certainly can do that. And we can connect with our animals and other people, not even when they're close to us. We can even do this very remotely because it is a soul connection. It is an energy exchange. And on top of that, we also have telepathy come into play with that process as well. So there is the practical side of it. And once we put out there in the ether that we would like to connect up with that individual, whether that's an animal or a human, that message goes through. And when it's happening, the connection is there instantly. So, but oftentimes the animals, they will manifest the link with their human parents to me. So they know certain people around Earth are able to talk to the animals, and they will manifest that, and they find the right person to help them along. So that connection is already established before we even start.
And I love how you say, distance doesn't matter with the connection, because not everybody lives near their family, and we still feel connected to them. And how many times have we thought of a friend and they've called us, or you're texting somebody at the exact same time?
Yes, exactly.
Same sort of thing.
That's the same sort of thing. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I have one final question, and it's a crazy one that I've had since I've been a little kid.
Okay.
And now I get to ask it.
Bring it on.
Okay. If you believe in your spirit or your energy comes back after death in this form, can a human come back as an animal, and can an animal come back as a human next time?
I've had that question before, and it's quite interesting. I think they can, and I believe they can, because I have had spirits talk to me where they say, yeah, I've been an animal before, or now I'm coming back as a human. So there is that transition that can occur, because the soul being can choose what form they take on Earth, depending on what they are here to learn and what their purpose will be on Earth again. And they may even decide not to come back. Maybe they won't reincarnate. They will stay up in the spirit world because they have other jobs to do up there as well. But I have had experiences where the souls have told me, yep, I've been a human before or an animal before. Yeah.
I've wondered it since I was a kid, and I always joke around and say, in my next life, I'm coming back as my dogs.
Yeah, you certainly can. Not specifically your dogs, because they have a different
good dog owner's dog. But I don't want to come back as an ant or a fly where people don't like you.
Okay. And I also worked in particular with one dog who wasn't in a form, like a physical form before. It was the very first time that soul had entered a physical form. And that dog didn't particularly enjoy life on Earth. So that dog actually made the choice, saw an opening, and literally ran in front of a car to go to the spirit world.
Wow.
And that dog was only about 14 or 15 months old. Yeah. Yeah. She wasn't enjoying it at all. No.
Yeah.
It's sad for us, but for her it was the best thing to do. And now she sometimes comes and visits, because she actually helps me connect to animals that have difficulty connecting back to the earth realm, and she helps them bring them through. Yeah.
What a great job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time for this interview, but there's so much more that we can talk about. So we'd love if you come back next time.
Absolutely. I'd love to. Thank you.
And to be even more generous, I know you have a gift, which there is a link in the email that everybody can access this from. Just click on the link and it'll take you right to this. You can tell them all about it.
Fantastic. Yes. Well, I would love to find out from you and give you the answer to that. What is the number one question that you have for your pet? What is the number one thing that you can't wait to hear an answer to? So I would love for you guys to contact me and just send me that one question about your dog, your horse, your cat, your snake. It doesn't matter what form your animal has. And on top of that, I would love to offer you 50% off your very first session with me, whether that's for your pet or for yourself. So yeah, take advantage of that, because that's an awesome deal.
That's awesome. I know. I'm clicking the link.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, It's not over. Click the link on this page. There is a link for the experience. We are going to go over there and experience Bianca's work. So join us in the Modern Prayer and Spirituality experience. I'm excited.
Me too. Awesome.
Thank you. And thanks, everybody. We'll see you over there.
See you soon.
Bye.